welcome race fans to tonight Sim Racing Unleashed as they get ready to take on Martinsville Speedway as we leave Indianapolis Motor Speedway and we head on to the track that they are called Paperclip in NASCAR, and it's going to be a fun race as we're happy to bring you up here in the booth tonight our Indy 250 race winner Zach Hall that knows a little bit about this track on the NASCAR side of things, and our Saturday's lead caller there at the Indy 250, Lee Tidwell. How you guys doing?
You know, it's another wonderful Sunday evening high atop the press box in Martinsville, and it actually is quite an honor to be up here tonight with Zach Hall, the winner of the Indy 250 yesterday, and a dramatic finish, green, white checkered finish there at the end. And congratulations, Zach. And if everyone hasn't noticed, make sure you check out on Facebook on the Freaky Fast page the pictures of not only what me and Wesley went through to make sure we could bring you all the action yesterday, but Zach celebrating with that glorious milk after the victory at Indy. So congratulations, Zach.
Oh, I appreciate it, guys. I'm glad to be up in the booth to join y'all here at this fantastic racetrack. You know, we just had Indianapolis. It's a historic racetrack. Well, I can tell you this is one of the most historic NASCAR racetracks ever. And it's got a special place in my heart, and I'm happy to be here with you guys tonight.
And we are on round number 3. We're at Martinsville. A half mile, as Robert said, paperclip shaped little oval here as we get set for Sim Racing Unleashed. Had a great race last week and the week before. Looking forward to another big victory, entertaining race today. I'm still tongue-tied from calling a race in my car. I'm not used to being able to set up with all my screens and stuff and be able to call a race. Yesterday it was like, backpacking in the wilderness or something, and now I can't get readjusted to society.
Yeah, well, I can tell you this much: you sound better.
I sounded like crud yesterday.
I gotta commend you because that is amazing what you did. I seen the setup you're doing, man. That is you're a saint. At least we can put it in there, at least, man. That's so impressive. That you there's probably some people walking by going, "What is this guy doing?" But you know what? Guess what? We all had a good time, and I'm glad you were able to join us in your car.
In your car. Listen to you. I'm sorry. In your car.
In my car. Hello to Mr. Kenneth Blackburn. Join us via Facebook. I still wonder if Kenneth's trolling us with the concession stand menu. We have not got an answer on that yet. Todd Neese with a quick time of 19.660 at the moment. Dave Bush in second. Still a lot of people qualified, including Collie Hartwell, Orlando Riviera yet to qualify. Kerry Tim hasn't qualified yet. Jason T. Adams, so many more. So looking forward to a good race here this evening. Zach, tell me a little bit about Martinsville. What can we expect to see, and what are the drivers looking for this evening?
Well, this track right here is called the Paperclip. As you can see, it's shaped very much just like 2 drag strips with 2 hairpin corners on each side. So really, that comes down to a lot of hard braking zones. You're going to be pressing that brake a lot tonight here at 225 laps. You're going to be pressing that brake, 2 times here every single lap, and hard on the brake. It's also elite. Can't lock them up. Very easy to do when you're getting hard on the brake with these Cup cars, and a lot of bumps leading down into these corners, especially 1. It's more a level entry, and then you go into 3, you kind of try to do the same thing you're doing to 1, but it's actually a little bit downhill, so you usually overshoot it a little bit if you try to carry that same amount of speed. But man, oh man, this track is all about finesse, working the throttle and working that brake pedal. That's going to be the huge keys to tonight, and whoever can do that the best while managing their tires, I expect him to come out of victory lane here at Martinsville tonight.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see who comes away with the victory here with Sim Racing Unleashed at Martinsville, as we've seen 2 different winners in 2 different weeks. And every week it seems like that there's another rising star in this league that comes forward and puts forth an effort that then makes you start remembering that name. We've seen Todd Neese do that, Steven Stympian do that, Dave Bush, Hunter Hayward, Blaine Doyle last week, up there. Wazerman made a great showing last week. Jason Anderson, Michael Yarrow, some of these guys, Brandon Colley, our cross-pollination driver from World Series of Sim Racing, coming up here. And Colley now puts puts himself in third position with a 19.673 after he spun on his actual first attempt at qualifying.
Well, that's a good job there to get that lap in after a spin. So, it's easy to do. That's one thing I was kind of alluding to before is, you got to be like, you almost got to have like that egg under your foot with the gas pedal tonight. Super smooth, super easy on that throttle because these rear tires will light up very quickly. And if you keep doing that lap after lap, you're not going to be a happy camper coming off the corner and on entry.
I'd like to say hello to everyone joining us out there on the Facebook side of things, or if you're joining us on YouTube. Thank you for joining me and Zach Hall, your Indy 250 winner, right here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting this Sunday evening on Sim Racing Unleashed. And as always, we're joined by our host with the most, the man behind the curtain himself, Oz. He is Robert Moyo. Robert, what is going on, sir?
Not much, just getting ready for some paperclip action, short track racing, bumping, hitting, smacking, moving people out of the way. I testify to that because I've done it.
Very easy to do.
Yeah, and breaking points, everybody's just got to watch breaking points. Be patient, try to get in line, and you got to work your pass and not just make your pass. You know what I'm trying to say? You got to work that driver to get around him. I guess I didn't explain that right, like Bobby syndrome.
No, you did.
You know what I mean? You got to really work them. It just don't go flying down in there and think you're gonna, bump them out of the way and move them and everything. Because even if you bump them out of the way, they might slide up the track a little bit, as Zach would know, and you lead, but it's not enough to get up underneath them. You really gotta set them up exiting. So that's my opinion.
And we have completed our qualifying this evening as we watched Leffler pull into the pits, posting the second quickest time. We're going to bring you that starting grid for this evening at Martinsville with Sim Racing Unleashed. Josh Jones in that number 76 car will take the pole position and with a 19.526. He was quick in practice as well. The 72 of Stephen Leffler in second and third position. Brendan Hart will in that number 5. Todd Neese in the number 1 will be in 4th. Excuse me. Brandon Colley in 5th in the number 2. The number 95 of Michael Yarrow in 6th. Steven Stipien in that number 81 car. He'll be in 7th position. Dave Bush will be in 8th in the number 53. The 91 of Braden Caress will be in 9th. The 9 of Hunter Hayward will be in 10th. Lane Doyle will be in 11th in the number 32 machine. The number 27 of David Neese will be in 12th. Josh Lingolis in 13th position in the number 18. Brian Wasserman at number 67 and 14th. Robert Chiswick, number 6 and 15th. And 16th, Fernando Gamboa. There we go. In 23rd, he's the number 23 car. Number 14 of Bradley Delphin, 17th. Jason Anderson in 18th at number 92. Robbie Darnell in 19th. Mark Kischik in 20th. Kerry Chim 21st. Orlando Riviera 22nd. James Small, 23rd. Glenn Ballard, 24th. Paul Cohen, 25th. Jason T. Adams, 26th. Dakota Rameser in 27th. And from 22nd back, there was no time laid down. Where is my guy?
I was about to say that, Lee. I was about to say, where is Rodrigo Loga?
Now, I am highly... I'm
bad.
I'm a bit triggered here that he is not joining us tonight. Where is Rodrigo Loga and where in the world is Rodrigo Loga? We are looking for him. Man, I miss Loga already, and we didn't even start the race. Leffler's trying to start it way too soon as we will get set to pace around here, Zach. And starts and restarts are going to be highly important in this track.
Oh, that is very key, Lee, and which lane you're in is also very important. You can get stuck on the outside, but also that inside can get crammed up and a little bit jacked up and almost slowed down, and the outside line will start to roll, actually. So we'll have to watch here early on here what that does.
As we come around 3 and 4, Jones and Leffler will lead them to the line. Jones in that 76 on the bottom side of the track. We have 1 to go before we get started. Row 2 will be Hartwell and Neese, Colley and Yarrow in row 3, Stipien and Bush in row 4, Caress and Hayward in row 5, Lane Doyle and David Neese in 6, Lingolis and Wasserman in row 7, Cheswick and Gamboa row 8, Delphin Anderson in row 9, and Darnell and Gomez in row number 10.
Yeah, it'll be interesting too. We got a tire set of 4 lead too, so we'll have to monitor tire strategies here tonight.
Tire strategy will play a key role. 225 laps at this half-mile paperclip trap. Yep, that's what it is. At Martinsville, Jones going to lead him to the line. Leffler will fall in second. And then we're going to have Hartwell in third as we enter turn 1. We watch everyone bunch up. It looks like we're going to have a safe entry and exit in 1 and 2. See if we can have a complete first lap here as the field will bunch up into 3. We got some movement back there with David Neese. Neese looks like he touched the rest, maybe. But nothing came out. We're just going to bring it on down now. Lane Doyle on the inside of David Neese. Doyle in that number 5 car. Excuse me. David Neese in the number 27 car. Lane Doyle. No. What? Am I?
32, I think.
32, yeah. I am confused.
And, yeah, these guys are real patient early here. It's kind of good stuff to see, and that's what you want to see early in this race. You know, you could easily be out of this thing pretty quick at Martinsville with how small this track is. It's not very wide. Incidents do happen.
Don't we have a league? We have a league where there's a number 5 that's the pie card, and I'm not just stupid thinking wrong number. Ah, the ARCA cars, the eNASCAR Outlaw League on Monday nights. All right, I knew there was one. As we're on lap 4 of 225, bringing it across the line. Josh Jones has been in the lead since the beginning. Leffler in second, Hartwell third. Collie has moved up to 4th position. Todd Neese in 5th. And then Stympian, Yarrow, Hayward now up to 8th. Dave Bush and Braden Caress will round out for top 10 as we're working a lapper here. Fernando Gamboa is trying to stay high there, Zach. Letting everybody pass him underneath. Collie going to contend with him now.
That's right. You know, early in this race also, you're going to catch lap traffic pretty quickly with, you know, the amount of cars we have. 25 cars. You can catch lap traffic, and we can see that being a real big factor here. Probably 20 to 30 laps if this stays green here. And that's also one of the huge keys also. I forgot to bring that up. You got to, you know, you can get this big lead, but when you get the traffic, sometimes that lead shrinks a lot. So, you know, no reason to burn your stuff up right now. Josh Jones being nice and smooth right now. No mistakes I've seen from him. And just really hitting his marks.
Yeah, everybody working around Fernando Gamboa at the moment and cleared him pretty easily. But now we're going to be contending with more lap traffic in just a few as we've settled down to about a single file line going around this half-mile oval for 225 laps of sim racing unleashed. And got a little touch there by the 95. That's the 95 of Yarrow. Had Hayward in front of him, and I think he touched the back end of it there.
Yeah, it's very easy to do, and like Robert was bringing up the braking points, you know, some guys are going to brake a little bit earlier, some guys are going to lift a little bit earlier than you, and you got to be wary of that when you're right up on the back of, you know, you got to change how you drive. And then that's what makes it really tough to pass also because, you know, that person's back in that corner up in front of you. You can't just drive through them if they're on the bottom. You kind of just got to pressure them and try to time that run off. You make passes here by exiting the corner, not entering the corner. And if you do try to do it entering the corner, usually it ends up in tears. So not a good idea sometimes.
I mean, how quickly do you just get extremely tight on this track?
You know, that's a weird thing too. You know, you do definitely build the air pressure up. It's the leader, Josh Jones, back up front. I just noticed he just got into the back of the 24 of Jason Adams. Got a little damage on the front of that nose down there too. And, you know, just trying to get there behind him. And I don't think Josh thought he was going to slow up that much. And, you know, that shows you how fast lap traffic can come into play here at Martinsville. Because, you know, different speeds between drivers here. It's a really tough racetrack. So you can see, you know, guys that are just really strong and guys that struggle because, like you said, Lee, you know, you called it a trap, not a track here. This race could be called a trap race for some drivers. You know, this is a race where they're like, I just want to survive. I want to get out of here and just make it out. But back to your point about the right front tire, you know, it definitely builds up a lot of air pressure here with the brake heat that you generate. But really, it's going to come a lot of management down to that right rear. Also, you know, that's going to give you the power and drive off these corners to propel yourself down these drag strips, as I would say. And but if you lose the right front, then you lose your front turn, and then you start killing the rear tires more. So everything compounds itself. Really, just overall, you got to be really smooth here.
Well, and Josh Jones, now, when he got into the back of that I think it was the 24, we can see his nose crunched up there a little bit. With a draft really not being too much of a factor to track like this, how important is the aerodynamics? Is that going to affect him throughout this race, or is that not going to play much of a factor here on this kind of racing?
You know, it's not going to be a huge factor at all. I've actually won races here with no nose. So, you know, we do have a caution here. Yeah, but not too big of a deal.
Got a caution here.
Yeah, this is... See if I can find it here for us. Exactly the point of the email. That, yes, I believe, is the... Okay, on the I believe the 24. Oh, the 95 of Michael Yarrow, guys. He got into the 24 and trying to lap him with net code.
Yeah, watching it now come out of 3 and 4, and yeah, Yarrow just to the side of the 24. And netcode did affect that. The 24, Jason T. Adams. Caress was able to pull it down and not be collected up in that, but that's going to bring out our first caution of the evening here with Sim Racing Unleashed. And these are some of the longest daggum pits. Yeah, from the entry of 3 to the exit of 2 is pits, and we've seen races lost with pit roads like this, where you miss your pit stall and overshoot it, or you get caught speeding going into them.
Well, one of the huge things you got to really worry about at this racetrack, as you actually see, we got a few guys dipping off here. I believe those are lap cars because all these other guys want to save their sets of tires. Smart move by them, but yeah, the big thing, Lee, is like you said, it's super long, but it's also 35 mile an hour while the pace cars out here rolling around at 40. So that's a huge issue with how long the pit road is. If you pit from about 15th to 20th on back, you have a possibility, if you're not paying attention, to go a lap down. So you got to be really quick to get in that pit road, get your service done, get out ahead of that car, because going laps down here early can be a big issue. But it's also a place where you can get that lap back too. So
Bill Cook joining us on Facebook from Newcastle, Indiana. Hello, Mr. Cook. And then Kenneth says, from the Martinsville Speedway website, concession stand offering hot foods, including the famous Martinsville Speedway hot dog, cold Pepsi products and snacks. The standard dog comes dressed with coleslaw, onions, and chili. Isn't that just like
amazing.
Eating Taco Bell? I mean, that just sounds like an explosion waiting to happen.
You know, it doesn't end up in the greatest always, especially with the the drinks that you're drinking with it. They don't usually mix that well. So yeah, it's definitely. But I can tell you this: it's one of the best hot dogs I've ever had from like any concession or really a hot dog. I mean, there's something weird about that Martinsville hot dog. It's got something in it they added that I don't know. It's delicious and it's cheap. You know, that's another thing. You get. I'm pretty sure it's just $2. I'm pretty sure for a hot dog. So, you know, most sporting events, you got to pay arm and leg to get some of the stuff you need.
Yeah, when you look at it, you go, okay, so tickets are this much, and now I'm going to have to spend 20 to 50% of the ticket price on just concessions, depending on where my seat happened to be.
Yeah.
See, what I always did with the Predators game is we bought season tickets, the cheapest ones you could get, and then the night of the game, there was always like an hour before puck drop, they had upgrades that you could purchase really cheap. And I would purchase an upgrade to the all-inclusive zone and then go in there and have all the food I wanted and things. So here we go. About to get back under green. At Martinsville, Jones will be on the bottom line. Leffler will be up high, followed by Colley. Hartwell on the bottom side. Nice restart there by Hartwell as he's going to be challenging for second. Jones continues to lead. Leffler on the high side. We come out of 2. Hartwell got a nose over Leffler going into 3, but had to get into the break way quicker to try to hold that bottom line. Leffler will slide up. Oh, we got a caution.
Yes, we do. And it looks like Paul Cohen is involved in that 51 as he's parked here on the entry of 3 and the 22 also. Yep.
Yeah, Fernando Gamboa got involved.
Or 23, my bad.
See here, Buzz tries to comes down, clips Gamboa. So Buzz and Gamboa collect each other. Only 2 involved, and that will bring out our second caution of the evening, lap 22 of 225 here at Martinsville Sim Racing Unleashed. Lead Tidwell and Zach Hall. We'd like to remind you of the fine sponsors that help bring you not only Sim Racing Unleashed, but all the great races we bring you here on Freaky Fast Broadcast. And they are the ButtKicker and the Gamer2. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience, and the ButtKicker Gamer2 lets you feel every detail, from subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10-powered race car, from ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion. By moving a physical mass instead of only air like traditional speakers, the Gamer2 provides an instant, accurate, powerful bass response. It's all perfectly in sync with every game, with no additional software required. Check out the Gamer2 at thebutkicker.com. Use promo code FreakyFast20. That's Freaky with 2 E's. FreakyFast20 for 20% off your order of the ButtKicker Gamer2 at thebutkicker.com. Brought to you by iPitting. There it goes, change. The iPitting board is a web tool designed for iRacing teams. It helps you create an iRacing series board for all your teammates, and with a clear vision of every data point they need, from schedules, results, championship points, standings, and much more. It's also a great help for your team's community manager, who can use the tool to share on social networks all your team's achievements, races, photos, videos, all that kinds of good stuff. That is the iPitting board at ipitting.com. And also brought to you by Electronic Express. Check them out at electronicexpress.com. Did your monitor recently go out? Did your computer bite the dust? Do you need a new desk, maybe? Or do you just want a whole new kitchen package? You need a new blender, maybe an Apple TV, whatever your electronic needs are. Gaming laptop, tablets, more, whatever you need. Car audio, all kinds of cool stuff there at electronicexpress.com. Ships all over the country. So give them a chance. Just check them out at electronicexpress.com. Back to our live shot of lap 26 of 225. And Zach, we're starting to see some more cautions breed caution. We've talked about that.
Yes.
We're on caution number 2. We did not have a very long green flag run that last time. What can we expect to see, since basically nobody's pitted?
Yeah, these all guys are being smart about not pitting and using them tires up. You want to save those as much as you possibly can for something here late in this race, because the speed is dramatically falls off in these things pretty quickly, and then it tends to even out. So yeah, restarts, like you said, they could breed cautions, and we'll see how these guys navigate it here. It's just got to get a little spread out, and then they'll be good to go.
So here we go, as Jones will bring him to the line. There is the green flag. Leffler, man, he was trying to time that right, but a nice start once again from Josh Jones, the number 76 machine. Leffler will continue to work the high side. We got a blinker on back into the field. In the front now, Hartwell looking for that second position, but Leffler was strong on the high side. Will retain second, followed by Hartwell, then Colley and Todd Neese. Stipien trying to stiff in there to the top 5 now. He's going to look inside of Neese behind Colley.
Yeah, he's going to try to follow Colley through there. That's one thing you look for, Lee. You see the guy ahead of you on the inside of somebody, you're saying, well, I got to get as close to the guy ahead of me's back bumper, and then trying to get that nose in there, because you don't want to be, if you can get out of a position here early on this restart, that's the key, because it's super hard to pass here in Martinsville.
Yeah, it looks like that's what Hunter Hayward's doing to Stipien now. Stipien on the inside of Todd Neese. And then, yep, right to the back bumper as Hunter Hayward. He's going to try to stiff to the inside. So Todd Neese kind of caught no man's land back there in the back. But not necessarily in the back.
You can get a freight train right there, and it's kind of frustrating, but you just got to calm down. Don't burn the rear tires off. Don't, overheat those rear tires. And you're going to see he's going to get a little gap here. He's going to try to slide in here into that 6th position. I don't think he's going to be able to. Yes, as the run comes off the outside, he's going to clear that 9. So yeah, nice and patient there for him.
And slides in front of Hunter Hayward and stops the bleeding at 6th position. Behind him, Hayward, Dave Bush, Golis, and Lane Doyle will round out your top 10. Back in the front, the top 4 kind of starting to take off. Jones, Leffler, Hartwell, and Colley, as they're into 1 and 2 now, kind of nose to tail, driving along. Stempien attempting to chase them down. Then you got Nissan back with the nearest true battle. Looks like it's going to be Orlando Riviera in the 08. Riviera's battling with...
It's like Jason Anderson.
It is Anderson. Yeah, Anderson changed his paint scheme again, so it kind of got me when I couldn't see his number. I'm like, that's not the Taco Bell.
He's going fishing now.
Yeah, man. Look, drivers, I love you guys. Without you guys, I wouldn't have nothing to do on a Sunday evening or a Saturday night. I would have nothing to do. But when you change numbers, when you change paint schemes, you mess me up. You mess me up something awful. And I would really appreciate it if you would not make me look so dumb as to change your paint scheme mid-season. As for, I do not know the difference between the Taco Bell car and the Bass Pro Shop car. I cannot see your number. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a little bit lost too. I'm learning here. I'm trying to get all these paint schemes in my mind and say, okay, this is that person without actually having to, look too hard. And but yeah, it's definitely not the easiest with paint schemes sometimes.
I mean, you think about it. Cedric Hunter. Yep. I would know Cedric Hunter in any A-car race. I
spot him immediately. That guy. Hello Kitty man.
Oh, we got a caution. Looks like number 14 was involved. Bradley Delph.
Yeah, the Best Buy machine.
See what happened here. Looks like he comes out of 2. That number 19 Best Buy Ford, and just he got loose, lost it, spun it. Did really good job of keeping it off the wall and then back into the wall, trying to get it turned back around. So poor Bradley.
As you can see, I mean, right there, just losing Altuli, and that's so easy to do. Like I said, you guys so smooth with that throttle. You start to light them tires up, and then you start to counter steer a little bit. It points towards that wall, and then he did a good job to stay off everything pretty much.
Yeah, I did a little bit of racing today. I don't get to do it as much now with the new job, but broke out because see, my kids have their own rooms and stuff, so I don't have an office or a place where I don't, when I do iRacing, I do the same way I call stuff. It's on my 65-inch TV in my living room. That's what my computer's hooked to. That's my monitor. So I've got to drag the wheel out and get everything set up. So I don't get to drive as much as I used to, but jumped in and did one of the official C-Class Indy races today, and that was really fun until 20 to go when I got wrecked out by an idiot. But it's iRacing is so immersive, and my next big thing I want to do is I want an Oculus Rift, and I want to do it with VR, because I just think that I think that over trips is the way to go when it goes to true immersion. Then you throw the butt kicker on top of that, and then I want motion, and then by then I'm gonna just I don't know. Elon Musk can provide me with it.
You have a SpaceX wheel,
dude. It'd be so awesome.
Rodrigo's out on Facebook, Lee.
Oh, we do have Rodrigo logo out on Facebook, and I see him on YouTube too. So your buddy's out there, Lee.
Wait, did I miss him?
No, not on the track. I'm saying like out in the chat.
I don't see him in the chat.
On Facebook, I see him, or not Facebook. My bad. YouTube.
And
he said,
he just started watching on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook place to watch it. Okay, so if he's going to join us, at least I get to say it. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome into our viewing audience, Rodrigo. Yeah.
You might want to redo that in your ear. It cut out so bad.
All right, let's try that where my microphone doesn't think that it's a screaming velociraptor. Here we go. Rodrigo Loga.
Well, no. What was that?
That was a changeup. That was a curveball.
And that was so good. That was the 3-2 pitch. What you talking about?
What in the world?
He's slowing it down a little bit.
Rodrigo, yeah, slowing it down.
Oh, you guys crack me up, man. It's always a good time with the freaky fast moves, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we do nothing but get freaky nuts.
I want some honey roasted peanuts right now. That'd be awesome.
Funnel cakes. Funnel cakes. What's the funnel cakes? Anybody got a funnel cake?
My daughter bought me these new little Hershey cakes. It's got like fudge stuff squirted on the inside of them. They're so daggum good. So yeah, I'm
too good.
Oh, it is. I mean, I have to stop myself from just eating the whole box. They're that good. So pace car will duck off going into 3 on the longest pit road on an American racetrack, and we bring it out of 4. We'll be lap 44 of 225 when we cross the line. Josh Jones has led every lap of this race and has another good restart there. Everyone tends to settle in now 2x2. Nice job around turn number 1 as we come out of 2. Jones will be in the lead. Hartwell is racing hard for that second position. Leffler to the high side. Now Colley's going to battle Stepien to the high side. Behind Step's going to be Hunter Hayward. We bring it in. We're racing for 6 back there. And we got another caution behind them.
A big stack up here. Looks like the 23 of Fernando is back here. He's got a park actually. It's around Brian Washington, and looks like Kerry said, "I'm just gonna stop and let these guys keep going." Smart move.
The 17 of Kerry Chim also involved. One of my favorite paint schemes because I drive that one on one of my cars as well. Jim actually got to check up on that. Let's see what happened. The 23 of the 67.
Yeah, they started around the 67 of Brian.
Yeah, Wasserman. Let's see what happened there. Wasserman got pushed by Caress going into 3. Comes up, hits lane, door taps him. And then we got all kinds of people trying to avoid. The 19 of Glenn Ballard got a little bit of nose damage off of that one as well. So caution number 4. Lap. Oh, no. Did I go all the way back to the beginning?
Yeah, and it looked like also a little bit of neck coating. It was like a little bit of space in between the 91 and the 67 on entry there. And man, oh man, it's frustrating for a driver like me to see that. It's just unfortunate, Internet racing sometimes is not your best friend.
There we go. My stuff came back up. Man, it froze out on me. It said it was on lap 0. I'm like, no, we didn't just start the race.
You just reverse time, Lee. How'd you do that?
I have a DeLorean.
You built a time machine. yeah, exactly.
I love Back to the Future, man. That's one of my favorite trilogies of all time. I mean, I would actually put Back to the... And I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Anybody that truly knows me, especially the people that's worked with me, my coworkers used to get me Star Wars gifts like for birthdays and Christmas. And I've got a disco ball Death Star that has LEDs and goes different colors and stuff. But I think Back to the Future is the best trilogy ever made.
I can't disagree. That's actually the thing about trilogy wise. It might be because all 3 movies were just so just so high tier. It wasn't like there was one movie in it where it was like, well,
yeah, it's not like Jurassic Park where you got a raptor on an airplane. Hello, Alan. You don't remember that scene?
I do.
Where Alan falls asleep and he has a nightmare that the raptor is, hello, Alan. He looks up and it's a freaking raptor talking to him. That's a bad trilogy.
Yeah.
Good movies, good moments in that trilogy, but a bad trilogy.
Yeah, sometimes, not every movie can have its greatest moments in all of it, but Back to the Future, yeah, that's a good one. And looks like we're going to get line double file back up here. And all these guys still haven't pit. That's a smart move still. And also 5 now, Brandon Hartwell up into that second position there, taking it from Steven. And he had fought really hard for that. And also you got Steven Stippy in there, also in 4th, who is worked his way up from the 7th starting position.
Absolutely. I'd like to say hello to everyone joining us on Facebook and YouTube and all the RVs back behind the backstretch. Thank you for tuning your UHF antennas to Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Here we go, lap 50 when we cross the line. Jones he's got that restart down. We'll dive into 1, have the lead comfortably. Hartwell to the high side of Leffler. It's going to be Hayward behind them. Then you got Stemp. Collie will follow Stemp. Then Langolas, Todd Neese, Dave Bush, Braden Caress. Out of 3, we're going to keep it clean, and let's race it now into a single file. Got someone diving to the inside of Collie. That's going to be Langolas.
Yeah.
Oh, they touched. Yeah, Langolas was down to the inside. Then now we got a caution. The Gamboa again?
I believe so. I know he's involved. Oh, that's a big parking lot there. I actually started with the 92 and the 24. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It looked like Anderson hit that that little inside bump there, and it shot him up.
Yeah, hit the curb. Looked like he was trying to get that inside line. That's what you're trying to do, but definitely not trying to aim for that curb. That curb will definitely turn you back right.
And Gamboa actually stopped before he hit him. Oh, then he hit the 24 anyways.
Oh.
Jason T. Adams has been involved in most yellows. Fernando Gamboa has at least been around most yellows. It has been a stuff just frozen.
Oh no.
Stop it.
You called it a trap race, Lee. I mean, you called it a trap, so
it's a trap.
It can literally be a trap, this racetrack, man. See these guys inside the pit, but and I don't think nobody. Yeah, they're all still decided to stay out. This is a smart move from these guys. With the tire limits, you can't waste tires, and with these caution laps, just rolling around on these tires is it hurting them. So, really, it was just that first long green run that we got really wear on these tires. So. But you can see the restarts, how they play out. Inside line prevails a lot of time, and you're going to have guys that make pretty big gains. You see Hunter Hayward, starting 10th all the way up to 4th. You see Josh there in the 18th, 13th to 6th. So really big movers for having a few consecutive cautions like this.
And absolutely. One of the things that I'm noticing is you're not seeing the buildup of the rubber up on the top side of this track as you normally do during races, because we really haven't ran a lot of green flag runs. So you can see that the tires haven't been being worn down. They're almost fresh. So not a lot of groove really set down yet, not a lot of rubber laid down, but it's also fresher tires. It's an interesting thing, but I think we're going to start seeing more people getting loose than the tightness we saw at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, definitely. And this is also a weird track. You got concrete in the corners. Concrete tends to be very weird. The rubber doesn't go really inside of the race. Like, it doesn't lay into the track. It more lays on top of it. So actually, during these caution laps, you actually start to pick the rubber up as these cold tires or these hot, sticky tires just run around and pick all that rubber laying up on top. And I've been to many a Martinsville race in my day, and you'll be surprised. You get these long 100-lap runs, under green, and the track is completely covered in rubber. It's just it just looks like there's rubber everywhere, marbles everywhere. They do run a couple caution laps, and the bottom is just completely cleaned off. Just looks like the brightest white concrete. It looks like someone just scrubbed all the rubber right off it, and it's just a factor of concrete surface, and it gives an interesting take to the race. So you can't over adjust, but fix setup. So you got what you got here.
Got what you got, mono mono. And Josh Jones has been the biggest mono of them all this evening, led every lap so far. It'll be lap 57 when we go green. Jones on the inside, Leffler back to second place. Will be on the high side, Hartwell, then Hayward, followed by Stempien. We go into 1. Stemp blinked. Coming out of 2, we're going to try to level it out here. Everybody seems to be getting through safely. Caress is making a run. Oh, where's Leffler?
Yeah, got a little deep in the 3 lead. That's that downhill corner. It's a little bit downhill in the 3. Very easy to lose the rear end. Now he's going to be battling hard with the 5 and also the 9 there.
Yeah, Hunter Hayward, as we talked about earlier, going to try to keep that nose on the inside. Now he's going to shoot to the inside of Hartwell. It's going to be a challenge for second position here. Hartwell and Hayward. Hayward on the low side was not able to get the momentum that Hartwell did, but will take over 3rd position from Leffler. Stempien right behind them. Todd Neese is going to go to the high side of Langolas. Now Brayton Caress to the bottom side of Todd Neese, racing it into 3. That is a battle for 7th position, Todd Neese and Brayton Caress. And Caress will take the 7th position solidly out of 4. Neese right to the back bumper. And then you got Dave Bush back behind Neese as well. Man, they're starting to accordion big in these turns here. The braking, as you can see, is being it's setting different for each individual driver. And some are braking earlier, some are braking harder, and we're seeing the accordion effect here.
Oh yeah, that's a word you're going to hear all night is accordion effect, because like I said, the braking zones are just so different for each driver. You got to have your own comfort zone during these corners, and it's easy to overstep that. If you overstep that comfort zone, you're either going to go straight or you're going to lose the rear end. And when you lose the rear end, it usually doesn't end up pretty good. So you can't overstep it. But man, oh man, I tell you what, it does actually look like, looking back here in 12th with David Neese, you got Brandon Colley there in the 2. It looks like he came down pit road actually and did elect to take some tires. So it'll be interesting to see what Colley can do here. All these newer tires, and you know, with these other guys still all staying out. He looks like he's trying to be patient here and work his way up through. But man, oh man, Josh Jones is looking pretty strong tonight.
Yeah, 1.2 second lead for Jones over Hartwell as he is just now taken off, drops to the inside of Tim, who gives him plenty of room. And Josh Jones is, he's it's like he owns this racetrack at the moment. Let's see if he can continue that throughout the evening. Lap 64 of 225 with Sim Racing Unleashed. Lee Tidwell, Zach Hall, and Robert Boya here on Freaking Fast Broadcasting. Now, Kerry Chim becoming an obstacle for the leaders. Hartwell gets underneath him, and now Hayward will come up behind him as well. And, you know, lap traffic in this league, especially this evening, have been very polite and courteous.
Yes. And, you know, as a leader, you love that. You know, you give me the bottom, thank you very much. That's all you want, is just give me the bottom, stay up high, and you're good. But, you know, some lap cars are not going to be that. They're going to want to fight and hold their position and stay on that lead lap. And, you know, that's in NASCAR, that's your right. You know, if you're on the lead lap, you have every right to fight and stay on it. So we'll see that come into effect, I'm sure. And, you know, talking about Josh Jones, he looked really strong. I gotta say, Brandon Hartwell, just watching him, he's really hitting the line very well. He's making sure he gets right there, nice and low, nice and smooth every time. So don't count him out yet. If we get a long run, he might have some tires that are a little bit better. But I gotta say, also, Josh Jones, his line isn't bad either. So.
And I really want to thank all the drivers out there who have put in their data for the broadcast. You can see as we scroll through these different drivers, you got some that's got their picture uploaded. Let's go to the 81 of Steven Stippian, if you don't mind there, Robert. Steven Stippian has uploaded the picture of him and Miss Kayla Potter, and she hasn't been on Facebook yet. Kayla, where are you at, girl? Just say hi to me by now. But thank you to Steven. Jason T. Adams had his, and there's many more that you'll see throughout the night who are uploaded more information of themselves along with some pictures. So you see that this isn't just a video game that you're watching. This is a simulation. These are these individuals driving these cars right now. This is me and Zach and Robert watching this race, broadcasting it just like we would if we were in Martinsville, not only for your entertainment, but to show the true skill and professionalism of Sim Racing Unleashed.
Definitely. You know, just pointing that out, it really is amazing how realistic this, you know, sim is with everything. And you got it's really the only thing you don't get is the G-forces and it just being super hot, unless you turn, you know, your AC off, trying to make your bedroom hot. I guess you want that version. But you know, those are really the only things you lack, you know, just a little bit of the feel. But other than that, man, all the emotions are the same. All the racecraft is the same. Most of the lap times, the braking points, everything is super simple.
I have felt more anxiety on a green-white checker in iRacing than any roller coaster, and I'm a huge roller coaster fanatic.
Same. Yeah.
But yeah, Miss Kayla saying hello out there on Facebook. Hello, Kayla. Glad to know that you're here, darling. As we continue to watch this race, lap 73 of 225, Josh Jones continues to lead, now a 1.6 second lead over the number 5 of Brendan Hartwell. Hunter Hayward will be in third. Steven Leffler in 4th, and Steven Stipien has moved up to 5th position in that number 81 machine. Got lots of not really mini battles, but lots of cars trying to work around each other. Orlando Riviera in the 08. Working underneath Yarrow, it looked like.
We have a spinner.
Oh, caution.
Yeah, a 44.
44
Robbie
of
Darnell.
Robbie Darnell. Yeah. Whoa. It's a Darnell into 3 is where it appears to have happened. Eek, yeah. Almost kept it off.
Yeah, as you can see here, it goes down to 3 and 4. He's coming out of 4, and then it just snaps loose. It's so quick too. You have to be like, you gotta almost sense it's going to happen before it happens, because I can tell you from personal experience, I spun out in front of the field at WSSR and junked a few cars, and it's not a great feeling to do, and it just happens so quick because you got to be around the edge of the limit, and if you're not, then you're losing time. So, oh, and look, we got some pit stops.
Oh, lap 76. It's our first pit party of the evening with Sim Racing Unleashed, as we got all the front runners through the top 14 coming down pit road now, and this is going to be crucial. You got to hit your box correctly, especially if you qualified up front. Let's see what Josh Jones does. Great stop there by Jones. Hartwell coming in, also Leffler. See Todd Neese pulling into his box now as we speak as well. Wasserman will take the lead during these pit stops at number 67, who will stay out. He made a pit stop on lap 46 after one of those incidents. Brandon Colley up to 2nd position. He pitted on lap 52. Orlando Riviera will be in 3rd. He pitted on lap 53. And Bradley Delph pitted on lap 39. He will be in 4th position. Braden Carez stays out, and he has not pitted at all. Neither has Robert Cheswick, who will be in 7th position. I look for those two to probably come down this next lap, Zach, you would think, maybe, kind of, sort of?
Possibility there. You know, I don't believe the 67 the 2 are, because they've already pit. But we'll see if a few more of these guys dip off, as it does like a few guys are aiming towards pit road, but sometimes that's a little bit of a fake, you know, a little trickery here going on. And yep, they pull back up to the back onto the track. So yeah, you know, right now it's early in this race, still 78 laps. Yeah, you know, we're getting close to the halfway point, but track position at Martinsville is humongous. It's literally one of the most important things, and really, as Josh Jones is the leader here, as he'll come through the line, we'll see what he rounds out to is 6th place here. So he'll be restarting on the top lane in 6th, and he's going to have to think about that and be patient. You know, you can't just drive through everybody. You know, you might be the fastest or have the, you know, be the quickest guy, but you got to be patient, and this is where you can get yourself in trouble. I've done it multiple times, putting myself in the backpack there, and you got to be patient. It's all about, you know, management of this race and noticing how long you still got. You got a long time to go. If you destroy your stuff now, you know, that could really hinder your chances at a win.
You said backpack, and all I could think of was Dora.
Where's Boots at?
Dude, that monkey's cool.
Yeah. Hey, look, I know all about Dora. My niece is, I watched them multiple times, and gotta sit through the cartoons, but you know, sometimes they're pretty good.
I think my favorite monkey is still Zaboomafoo.
That's the best one.
Loves Zaboomafoo. Or the monkey from oh man, what was that trucker movie? We'll figure it out. Somebody put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Any which way but lose. Clint Eastwood. There we go. As we come to the line, Wasserman will have that low line. Look at the restart there by Colley. Colley going to race them into 1.
Yeah,
Colley and Wasserman door to door. Wasserman's going to have the better line. Colley will slide back into 2nd. Riviera will be in 3rd. Delph in 4th. Josh Jones to the backside of Delph. Caress now going to go to the bottom side, go underneath of Delph, and take 4th position by a nose. Now the Best Buy machine of Bradley Delph being caught in no man's land on the high side. Perez is underneath him, and now Josh Jones looks to stick his nose under there as well. Here comes Steven Stipien, and now the 9 of Hunter Hayward on the inside of Stipien. Going to push him to the high side. We door touch on those two coming down the front stretch. Going into one. Oh, and then Stip blinks. Leffler tapped him in the backside, and he disappeared for a moment.
And, you know, I got to praise Josh Jones right here. He could have stuck his nose in 3 wide multiple times there, and he backed out of it. He knows his situation here. He just needs to be patient. These guys got older tires in front of you. Just pick them off one at a time.
Now, ain't a monkey and a lemur the same thing, Caleb? Caleb said he was a lemur. I thought a lemur was a monkey.
I mean, a lemur is a monkey, right? Maybe not.
They're in the zoo. I know that. I like the monkeys in the zoo that do that. Yeah, have that big throat thing. And, you know, they like bark across the whole daggum zoo. That's one of my favorite things. Go to Nashville Zoo. First thing you hear is them big-throated monkeys.
I'm a fan of orangutans. They're pretty cool.
Orangutans scare me. They look like weird children.
Yeah, and you got Josh Jones here all over the back of Brandon Colley. Also, there was a little bit of bumping going on there. So, yeah, Colley trying to hold on to that track position on a little bit older tires. And you got Brian out here really doing a great job, actually, pulling away a little bit.
He actually is. Wasserman have done an excellent job so far. Now with a half-second lead over Colley. Jones going to look to the inside of Colley. Colley tries to slam the door. And then Hayward going to right to the backside bump. Well, Casey Kent's there to the back end of Josh Jones. Jones now to the inside of Colley. This is going to be a race for second position. Oh, and a caution. James Small involved in that caution. That is going to be, and also I think the number 14 of Bradley Delph.
Well, I think it's the 9th. Yeah, the 14 there. This is the 19 on this car, but yeah, 14 there. Lost it coming out too.
Yeah, Delph just lost it. Put back up, Fernando Gamboa.
Oh, nowhere to go.
The 61 also, James Small, that's where he popped. Man.
Yeah, and you can see Fernando really had nowhere to go instead of the 61. You know, it's unfortunate that this track is so it's very narrow. It can get and it's also very flat. So like it doesn't clean itself off. None of the cars move. Usually they stick to the same spot unless they're rolling. And still very hard to navigate through as it's a really narrow racetrack.
Jones has moved up to second position. He overtook Colley before the caution flag threw, but Hayward the caution flag saved Colley position there. The Colley will remain in third, Hayward fourth, Hartwell will be in fifth, Stimpy in sixth, Angola 7, Riviera 8th, Dave Bush in 9th, Stephen Leffler in 10th position. As we are on lap 90 of 225 here at Martinsville. Lee Tidwell, Zach Hall, and Robert Moya bringing you the Sim Racing Unleashed week number 3 action of season 8 here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. It seems like Blue Emu should be a sponsor with how big their logo is in the infield.
Yeah, they're plastered their stuff everywhere.
I wonder if it costs money to have a billboard in iRacing.
Well, they actually follow what is actually there in real life. Because I think that due to the contracts they have with each track, each track they form a contract with, and if they have a sponsorship change, they'll go back in there and change the sponsor. Because multiple times here, I mean, the Blue Emu stuff is brand new. That really got here during the start of the pandemic stuff. So Blue Emu really started to get into the sport. So yeah, iRacing's very vigilant about going in there and getting the sponsors right that the tracks have there, so the tracks are represented like they want.
Nashville's going to be so cool in 3 and 4 with the way the scoreboard is there.
I can't wait.
The little short track on the inside. It's going to be so fun. Those doing the little coops, man, on the short track in Nashville is going to be so fun.
Definitely is. I'm excited for that. As anytime you can say we got a short track coming, I'm there. I'm going to be there. So can't wait for that track to be added, as it actually will be hopefully on the NASCAR schedule here, in a few years if we can.
All right, so we got one of those vacuum cleaners that you can, like, kind of just pop the handle up and, it sits there by itself. I looked over my shoulder, and the outline of that looked like someone was standing outside my back door. Scared the crap out of me. I almost heard a wordy nerd from my mouth here on this broadcast. Here we go, green flag. Wasserman will bring him to the line, and Jones with another excellent restart. He has done great every time so far. Is now working the high side on Wasserman. Looking for that lead. Josh Jones has been the strongest vehicle, the strongest driver this entire race. He just showed why. Stimpion's caught to the high side, trying to pass Collie. Collie on the low side there. Wasserman will be in second position, followed by Hunter Hayward in the number 9. As we go into 1 and 2, Collie drops to the inside of Stimp. Then you got Hartwell right behind them, along with Langolis. As we go into 3 and 4, Zach, we're seeing a little bit more racing after on this restart, and the accordion effect on these restarts are a little bit more exaggerated.
Yeah, it's getting to that halfway point where people are starting to give a lot less and take a lot more. So you're going to see a lot of those moments here. But man, oh man, gotta say, Josh Jones had a great drive off the top, made that look pretty easy there with the newer tires. You got Brian there trying to hold off Stimpion, but it looks like Steven's gonna be able to roll that bottom here around this 67, maybe off a 2. Yep, and he will clear the 67 of Brian Washington.
Yep, so Stimp moves up to 3rd. Hartwell is in 5th behind Wasserman, who will remain in 4th position, and Langolis right to the backside of Hartwell. He's running in 6th place as the first front 6 or 7 now kind of spread out. The front 2 of Jones and Hayward have taken off and left the field. Stimp is going to try to run them down, but now about a second lead between the front 2 and the rest of the field of Stimp, Wasserman, Hartwell, and Golis, Busch, Leffler, Nice, and Collie rounding out your top 10.
Really watching here, we're riding along with Brian Hartwell. Here's just trying to roll to the back bumper to 67.
He almost got bumped in the back end of Valen over.
Yeah, we almost got to see what happens when you get bumped. But yeah, man, it's super tough around here to make passes and make it. It's one of the things you got to really set somebody up. And even up front here, looking up front, man, Josh Jones has got a little pressure here from Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter Hayward decided to try to run him down a little bit.
Yeah, and I've been watching Josh this whole race. His line is different than really everybody's. He's not really, most people you see right by that red and white curve. That's really the preferred line around this track. You want to be kind of close there. But he's almost doing more of a diamond, which, he's kind of going up the racetrack in the middle and coming back down on the exit. And even there, he kind of stays in the middle lane through the corner. So very interesting stuff there. And he's making it work, though, man. So whatever works for you, you got to stick to your guns.
Yeah, and that's something that it takes a lot of practice and muscle memory and all of that to understand that you have to have patience. You cannot win a race in a lap. And if you're out in front, you've got to drive your race. If you're trying to chase someone down, you still got to drive your race. And it took me forever to learn to calm down. If I'm not to the back bumper in a lap, it's okay. I still have in this race 112 laps to do it.
Right. Yeah, that's always the mindset you got to keep, man. If you can't ever get too high or too low in these races because it can really affect you. Your mental is a factor when it comes to racing. I can tell you that from experience. If you're at a low point, you're not going to run that good. You're just going to beat yourself up and continuously make mistakes. But when you're on a high, you just keep rolling and you don't worry about those mistakes happening. As old man, got a yellow. As I was speaking about mistakes, I jinxed.
I know Kerry Chim at least touched the wall. Looks like Robbie Darnell is discussing being involved with that.
Yeah.
Oh, he was.
Oh. Yep, the 44.
So Chim hit the wall actually coming out of 2. Then we go into 3 and 4. Darnell's going to lose it. Coming out of 4, spins it into the wall. Chim then tries to avoid him and taps the wall again. as Robbie Darnell warped back to his pit stall.
You know, and what I've seen there, Lee, really, as we're showing the replays, man, it really all started on entry, and that's super easy to do down in the 3. You start to lose the rears, and then you're just really driving sideways, almost drifting through the corner, the rest of the corner, and he really could never get back control of it there for Robbie, and that's what happened to him there. Just really lost it on entry, just a little too deep, and very easy to do, man. Very, very easy.
So back under caution on lap 106 of 225 here with Sim Racing Unleashed. We're starting to run out of caution talk, sir.
Yeah, Martinsville could be a little bit of a caution fest sometimes, but there's usually at some point where you get this super long run that just happens. It's one of the weirdest racetracks, Lee, I gotta say, because you know I've been to this racetrack for I went every year since this year. We couldn't go, you know, of course, but it's the first race I missed there that NASCAR's had in about 5 or 6 years, and man, it's really weird. You get these races that will just continuously precautions, it's restarts, and guys get more frustrated because, you know, you're like, I want to go, and I'm getting held up by these restarts, and it just continues to build that frustration. And then all of a sudden, it's like the light clears, and they just keep going forever, and it's just like, where's everybody? Everybody's so spread out, and there's cars all over the place, lap cars in between, and it really gets confusing sometimes. But man, it's a wild, wild racetrack.
It really is, and being only a half mile, and like you said, it's like 2 drag strips with hairpin turns at the end, and the amount of momentum and speed that these cars gain going down those straightaways, and then to have to get on those brakes in order to make that hairpin turn, and then back on the accelerator. It's Josh Jones has run the fastest lap of this race. He has been so dominant. 19.862 is his fastest lap, and that was on lap number 2.
Yeah, and you know, usually that's when you see it personally. The track's at that point its cleanest, and it usually has its most grip at that point. So you're usually gonna see that, and also just it's something about early race. You know, you get out there out front, you can put that nice lap down. I've always noticed that here at Martinsville.
So here we go. We're getting ready to go back green as Josh Jones will have Hunter Hayward to the high side, coming back to the line. Stepien and Hartwell behind them. Then Langolis and Dave Bush. Out of 4, green flag will wave by Marty the flag guy, and here we go. Oh, man. Jones got a little loose there on that restart. Stimp's going to dive down to the inside of Hayward. Coming out of 2 will overtake that second position. Hartwell now will drive to the backside of Hayward. We look back, Dave Bush is getting passed by Leffler. Going into 3 and 4, Bush stuck in no man's land for the moment.
And look at Steven Stippian up to second now. That's crazy stuff. What I've been noticing from Steven there is he's getting most of his stuff in terms of restarts. And like I said earlier, that's the easiest time to pass here at Martinsville. And he's actually starting to take a look here at that 76. He says, I want to lead some laps, I suppose.
Yeah, Stipien looking strong here in the midway portion of this race behind Josh Jones, who has led the majority of it. Hayward will be behind Stipien, and then Hartwell along with Langolis. Leffler has moved up to 6th position. Dave Bush back to 7th. Yarrow 8th. Todd Neese 9th. Braden Caress in 10th at the moment. Colley has fallen back to 11th position. Into 1 and 2, Zach, we're into single file mid-race form.
Yep.
And now it's really looking at who makes a mistake on an entry or an exit to give that little bit of daylight on the inside for someone to stick their nose down on the inside, and then who's got the cojones big enough to stick their nose on the inside here.
Yeah, you know, that's another thing is when you got that guy on your outside, if you overshoot it, guess what? There's going to be an issue there because that guy on the outside is going to definitely be in that second lane. You know, you're going to really try to pinch that guy down if you're in that second lane. So making that pass on the bottom is not always easy. Sometimes, you know, you can easily mess up, overshoot your braking marker, and then the two of you are usually missing the corner, or you're either ignoring the guy and putting him up out of the group, and he's not too happy. And guess what? Martinsville can be a place where tempers can carry over to each race. I've seen it personally from multiple different instances throughout my sim racing career at Martinsville that have led on to other races. And man, oh man, we got another caution here. Looks like
23, Fernando Gamboa is either involved or at least was around it again. Let's see here. As we try to find it there on replay, it looks like it's going to be coming out of 4. He door touches and then gets spun around by the 6 of Chesawood.
Yeah. Unfortunate Fernando, man. He's just seemed like a pinball this race. He has not been able to get away from someone hitting him or, you know, having a little mistake himself. So it's unfortunate, and he just took his fast sticks, I've noticed, because he's been riding around with no front end this whole race. But actually did a good job not getting too much damage there.
Yeah, Gamboa got a magnet stuck to him this evening or something.
You know, Martinsville can feel like that way for some guys. It's just, it's like, am I the guy that everybody just, can y'all see me? Am I invisible out here? You know, sometimes you question that. But it's definitely a frustrating place for some places, and also some places people's favorite place. You know, trust me, I've had everything at this racetrack. I've come back from 4 laps down the winter race. I've led every almost lap of this race, then lost it at the very beginning, at the end. And you never know. This track is never over till the white flag and that checker flag waves next, because I'm telling you, it's just tough, man. It's a mental battle too, because it's just over and over again, entering, exiting the corner, and just having to be rhythm. It's all about rhythm. And man, we're going to see another restart here, and we've seen last time a little bit of wheel spin. And that, as you see, it looks like these guys might pit here, because I believe these guys still have 2 sets left, and we're past halfway. So nope, they're going to save those 2 sets, which is a smart idea by them. Definitely, you want to have definitely an extra set for if there's a late race caution, because man, if you're out there on old tires, it could be rough. And it looks, man, tell you what,
Tell
the track
me what.
is really cleaning off. It seems like they're picking up the rubber, and like I said, concrete is a weird surface with rubber. It does not like caution laps. It likes that heat constantly be putting into it, and that load. When you take the load off these cars, it just, those hot sticky tires just seem to pick it right up. And that's one thing impressive with iRacing, and it's also down to Goodyear, because I've gone to multiple Martinsville races in real life where there was marbles everywhere, but not a lick of rubber on the track, just because it just doesn't lay down onto it. So it takes a special compound from Goodyear to make a race change, because personally, those races that I've been to at Martinsville are the most, I would say, boring, because the track doesn't change. You know, that's one of the big things about this track, is it just changes lap after lap, and you can't over adjust as a crew chief, and it just really makes it a special place. So whenever you can see rubber being laid down and picked back up, it changes the track all over again. So that affects the racing, and that's a good thing.
So we will go green this time around in lap 122 of 225. Josh Jones back in the lead after dominating the first half of this race. Steven Stipien will start in 2nd position on the high side, followed by Hartwell and Hayward, Leffler Langolis, Todd Neese, and Dave Bush. Around 3 and 4, and we will go back green. Barney the flag guy says, "Let's go, fellas." And we bring him to the line. Nice restart by Stipien.
Definitely.
He was able to, he was able to time the start of Jones pretty good there, but look at Jones. Jones has been powerful. Now Hayward's going to dive down to the inside of Stipien into 3 and 4. Hunter Hayward and Stipien door to door coming to the line. Stip with a half a car length lead going into 1 and 2, but in no man's land, stuck on that high side. Will lose the position to Hayward, trying to fall in line before Brandon Hartwell pulls up there in the number 5 Kellogg's machine. Oop, he blinked. No blink.
Ooh, yep, that's not good. Not a good time when you're, nose to tail out there to blink. But he's there. He's back, and he'll be good off now. Some guys, it's this weird thing on iRacing where it's like the first couple laps after a caution, they blink for like 1 to 2 times, and then it never does it again. And it always seems like it happens to the same people. So it's something to do with iRacing and the connection you have. So, you know, hopefully that like I say, doesn't happen anymore because it's, you know, right after caution it seems to end. So. You also got Jason Leffler. Sorry to interrupt you there, but Jason Leffler's starting to, or I call him Jason Leffler. Wow. I'm so sorry. Stephen Leffler. I called him a real race car driver, but Stephen Leffler working his way back up here to the top 5 as he started second. And he was looking pretty strong early in this race, so good to see him work his way back up to the top 5.
Yeah, very impressed by Hunter Hayward up 8 spots right into second position now.
Yeah, him and Stippian have been the real big movers of this race and been able to keep that track position once they got it. Man, it's they're looking good right now. Josh Jones will continue to lead this race here at Martinsville, but Hunter Hayward and Steven are not letting them get too far away.
Now they're all trying to stay right there. You've got Jones, Hayward, Stimp, Hartwell, Leffler, and Langolis in a single file line following each other around the track, seeing what's going to happen here. Then back behind them, Dave Bush and Braden Perez with Todd Neist and Lane Doyle. They're racing for positions as well coming into the green corner.
Yeah, and you can see a few guys back there, I believe, are on a little bit fresher tires. I may be mistaken. But even got the 08 of Orlando back here trying to get the position, trying to work over David Neese. And also Michael Garro there behind him, who had his issues early in this race. He's trying to get back up in that position as he started 6th, and then he's back in 16th now.
Yes, sirree. Brandon Colley sitting in 11th position with Wasserman right behind him. He is behind Lane Doyle coming out of 2. That is 11th, 12th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. We got a lap car now they're about to have to contend with. Perez makes it around him. Now Todd Neese working around the lapper there.
And it's definitely, you know, like I said, lap travel is always a huge factor at this track. So, like you said earlier, all the lap traffic so far has been pretty courteous about, you know, letting guys go. But back up front, these front 5 have really actually put a good little gap there on Dave Bush there in 6th. And they've, like you said, a little bit of a train here forming. These guys are trying to size each other up and see who's got what.
Yes, we're on lap 132 of 225, and we have really settled down to the rhythm track portion of this race. No one's really making a lot of moves. They're just letting the lap counter start ticking on down. And you see this in a lot of the short to medium-sized tracks where, you know, restarts at the beginning of a race, you see a lot of movement going on. Then after 10 or 15 green flag laps, it starts settling down, and the passes come when mistakes happen instead of really pushing that envelope. And then the longer the race goes on, especially once you get to the last third, then you see guys taking more risks, taking more chances for those positions.
Definitely. And looking just at lap times, Lee, our fastest car on the racetrack at the moment is that 95 of Michael Yara, running at 20:51 to our leaders in 20:82. So I believe Michael's got a little fresher tires, but like I said earlier, he had that incident, and he's actually starting to pick up the pace here and try to get himself cracked back inside that top 10. He's got a few guys. Oh, he actually had a little mistake on the 4 there, losing the rear end, but he's running some pretty quick times right now. He's about to get in the traffic and see what he can do here. Is actually Brian Wasserman in front of him too. He's gonna look on the inside of Brandon Colley and try to get that 11th position.
Yeah, Colley stuck to the high side. And Riviera goes down underneath him and will try to complete that pass going into 1 and 2. Oh, Colley comes right to the backside of Gomez.
Yeah, it was close.
Almost ate the back end of it.
Oh, we got a yellow. Oh, no, is that Josh Jones? It is.
Oh no, what happened? The 76 of Jones.
Oh, lap car. Oh, but before that, something happened. Whoa, we had some major stuff with lap cars there. Yeah.
Oh
Whoa.
man, what? That was like 2 laps worth. So let's go way on back. He's behind the 44 of Robbie Darnell. Darnell checks up because of the 6. Jones down to the inside, then hits the 6, hits him in the side coming out of 2. Stempian passes him on the high side. He follows Stemp into 3. Coming out of 4, the 6. Stemp blink, the 6 up against the wall, and Jones, yeah, this looks like maybe some netcode got him when he went by the 6 of Cheswold.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if he was just, I mean, I know he was definitely mad, but I don't want to say he just, tried to give him a little love tap, but it actually hurt him worse if he did do that, So, unfortunate for Josh Jones, the leader. And like I said, this is Martinsville, man. Stuff happens quick. Lap traffic can be an issue. Your tempers can flare, and I think that ain't the last of some stuff we've seen with incidents here. It's going to definitely pick up here as we get to crunch time.
And it really does shake up a lot of things when you think about Josh Jones now having to come in. He's going to probably have to go ahead and use his fast repair now. He was strongest car so far all day. He was leading the race. And now it looks like Jones will come out in 16th position.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't go a lap down there. As you see the pace car really right there behind the group of cars that just came out pit road. And that's what I was saying on pit road. You got to get in there quickly or you will lose a lap.
So back under caution on lap 141 through 25. Hello to everyone out there on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for joining us, whether or not you're watching us here on August 23rd, 2020, or sometime in the future. And if you are future Lee, remember, past Lee's not a nice person, and we realize that day in and day out.
I wish I could go back to the past and tell myself stuff. I'd tell myself a little bit about the Super Bowl, maybe make a few bets.
All right, Biff Tannen.
Maybe, yeah, right. Maybe make Google. But,
no, that's Hot Tub Time Machine.
I was about to say that's Hot Tub Time Machine, yeah. And make Motley Crue.
I love Hot Tub Time Machine, man.
That's a great one.
I don't know the name of that actor, but he's on so many funny things, and he's on Children's Hospital. That's on Adult Swim, and all kinds of good stuff.
Oh, I can't remember. If you know out there in the chat, let us know, because that one's gonna kill me. Because that's a funny movie, man.
Kind of like Sam Rockwell. One of those kind of guys.
Right. Yep. So,
the pace car comes off. We will go back to green. Lap 144 of 225 was them racing Unleashed. Hunter Hayward will be in the lead. Hartwell in second position. Then you got Stemp. Perez had to slow up because of Leffler. Dave Bush on the high side now as we come around 1 and 2. It'll be Hayward, Hartwell, Stemp, Leffler, and Dave Bush. Leffler to the inside of Bush. Now Perez looks down to the inside of Dave Bush. And the 53 of Bush will be passed by both of them. And now Wasserman will look down on the inside as well and get his nose down. Dave Bush slowly falling backwards. He pitted on lap 76 like the front runners did, but he's kind of getting steamrolled here now. Orlando Riviera. Oh, just hit him in the rear end. Whoa, that almost came out completely how I shouldn't have said it.
It was close.
It's so close.
It was a near save by Lee. Not a near save for these guys, unfortunately. Yeah, you see, that's Martinsville. That's classic Martinsville right there. So, I think the last of that we're gonna see, I imagine.
Yeah, I don't know what Riviera was thinking, but there was just no lift there. I mean, full send, and Dave gets pushed up into the outside wall. Wow.
Yeah, unfortunate for Dave. Hopefully has his fast pick still there. So, it's only got really rear damage. He didn't really get too much nose damage, so he should be fine. But I was too busy paying attention to watching Josh Jones, just watching him try to drive back through this field here, as he did make it to 10th. And I was going to point out, he's in 10th right now. He had to use that fast fix for that blown motor, as you can see here on the replay. Look at that! Wow, look at the car parking lot. That's what Martinsville cautions are like. But back to Josh Jones, he definitely took another set of tires. So I believe, oh wow, he actually had to slow down there a little bit for the intra pit road, but he actually will stay out here too to get a few positions that guys aren't pitting. But you gotta be patient. He's the fastest. He's been the fastest tonight. He's got to be patient now. He's used his fast fix. If anything else happens now, it's game over. And he's still got a long way to go. I know it's under 100. We're getting close to nearing that 50 mark here in a little bit, but that's still plenty of time, Martinsville, man. Cautions can breed cautions, as we've seen all night, and you can have multiple shots in this, and you can never give up.
Caution number 11 of the evening. Hunter Hayward will be in the lead. Hartwell in second. Steven Stipien in third. Leffler fourth. Braden Caress fifth. Wasserman in sixth. Josh Jones up to seventh. Langolis in eighth. Blaine Doyle ninth. And Bradley Delph up 7 positions up to 10th now. And then let's talk about the 11th position. Jason T. Adams in that number 24, up 15 spots.
That's an awesome feat, and especially because he's been in a couple wrecks. So good job on him to put himself up near that top 10 position. And if a few more things happen, he could be looking at top 5. I mean, that's the thing in Martinsville, man. You're never out of it here. If you can just stay out of trouble sometimes, keep your nose a little bit clean, and the other guys have issues, you can come out of here with a pretty good finish that you would never expect.
Yeah, his back end's kind of crunchy.
Kind of crunchy. That's it. You'd rather have the back end crunchy than the front end.
Yeah, right in front of him, the 14/19. You're lucky we're calling you by your name, Bradley Delph. And the Best Buy machine does not have a front end. So, one more time, quick warning for all drivers that are ever broadcast on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. If your paint scheme number on your paint scheme does not match your number on iRacing, I will not call you by your real name. I will give you a name, whatever name happens to come to mind, and it doesn't matter to me what it truly is. As we go back to green, Hayward will lead up to the line with Hartwell on the high side. Nice restart by Brandon Hartwell.
Yeah. Oh, and a little bump from Steven to Hunter out front, and this will get the drive off the Brandon to the lead.
Sure does. Brandon Hartwell goes to the lead. Oh, he almost drives into the back end. Hayward does. Of Hartwell, now he's tapping that rear quarter panel. We're going to race it coming out of 4. Everybody's all over the place. Stipien's up there involved. We got Braden Caress. Now Josh Jones looking down to the inside. He's going to be to the backside of Caress, who's behind Stipien. And got Wasserman, who has now worked his way up to 4th position. Stip to the inside of Wasserman. They're going to work it coming off of 4, and Hartwell will continue to lead. Wow.
Steven
Caress right to the back end of Stip. Stip goes to the back end of Wasserman, and that brings us back to a caution.
Wow. Man, Steven Stipien got Alex Bowman by Joe Logano right there.
Yeah, that was one of those. It was a chain reaction. Caress gets into the back of Stipien, who then gets into the back of Wasserman. Everybody tries to avoid it. Oh, what's his name in the Best Buy car ended up in the grass.
Yeah, and man, that's the accordion effect. You see Steven, just really got sent there by the 91. And the 67 was the innocent bystander and all that. And luckily, Steven could use him as his brakes, to help him get that thing slowed down.
For some unknown reason, Braden Caress thought this was Monday night and ARCA work, and decided to ARCA brake to the back end of Steven Stipien.
Yeah, ARCA brakes sometimes, the fluid starts to boil, and the brake goes to the floor, and I don't know, sometimes it happens. Good old ARCA brake.
So Caress will come into the pits after that caution. Hartwell will be in the lead. Hunter Hayward in second. Leffler up to third. Stimpy in fourth. And look at there, Josh Jones is up to fifth position. Cracking the top 5 after that incident.
Yeah, Hartwell's done a good job, man. Got himself up into this lead now from the outside, too, on that restart. As you see, from a little bit of contact there to the back of the 9 that restart. And definitely going to be interesting here because Hunter, Hunter's really diving into the corners, I've noticed, and Hartwell's really actually being kind of like in like a lamb, out like a lion. That's as I like to say.
In
Hunter's
like a
more of
lamb, out like a lion.
Yeah, you gotta go into the corner like a lamb, nice and easy, and then you power off like a lion, you know?
My wife says I'm the exact opposite.
Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta stop laughing.
Lap 157 of 225, Sim Racing Unleashed. Lee Tidwell, Zach Hall, and Robert Moya bringing you all the action. Hello to everyone out there on Facebook and YouTube. And yes, Bill, that is, what's his name in the Best Buy car? As,
they're gonna start calling me Giggles up here with Lee, and I can't keep my cool. Yeah,
Mr. Giggles, you ought to host a children's show.
Oh no, I could not do that.
Mr. Giggles, the House of Fun, we can do this.
Brought a tear to my eye with that one. That was good stuff, man.
Now you've already got a nickname. You are Big Mac.
Big Mac.
You're Big Mac.
I've had so many nicknames you don't even know. I've had Captain Crunch, Zack Attack, Big Mac. I'm gonna stick to Zach. How about that?
Just Zach.
It's too plain. Is that too plain? Okay.
Well, when you think of Zach, I usually think of a guy off of, maybe like Saved by the Bell. But no,
okay.
you're not a blonde, preppy 80s kid.
No. Unfortunately, I wasn't blessed with blonde hair. Just kidding.
Green flag, green flag.
And we go back. Oh, I had so many things I want to say. Back green.
Yeah, I know, right?
With a nice restart there on Hartwell as we go into 1 and 2. Hartwell's going to fight it on the bottom line. Hayward's going to drop down to the bottom and settle into second. Leffler in third. Then you're going to have Stimp and Jones racing for fourth position going into 3. Lane Doyle right behind them, along with Langolas. As we spread it around, look like Todd Neese and David Neese might have had a little kissy kiss there out of 3 and 4. Into 1 and 2. Everyone settles down. Stimpian caught to the high side will fall back and fall in front of Todd Neese, and that will put him in 7th position. Now Jones is going to put his nose to the inside of Leffler and start sniffing for 3rd position. Look at Josh Jones. The power of Josh Jones, that big energy he's been displaying all evening here at Martinsville.
And this is very, very interesting. Also, I wonder, because he took that fast fix. I don't think these other guys have picked since then, so these guys might be on a little bit older rubber too. So, yeah, and getting confirmation that he is on fresher tires than these 2 up front. So he needs to use that to get this track position back immediately, because these other guys are going to have an extra set of tires on them if we have a few more of these cautions. Oh my, wow. That was a send right there, full send. That was, he put the lawnmower in rabbit mode, not turtle. That's how it's said.
Oh, Josh Jones is making a charge now at his tires, changed on lap 139. Hunter Hayward, who is now behind him, and Hartwell in front of him, lap 76. And just look at him chase down the number 5 of Brandon Hartwell, that Kellogg's machine. And Josh Jones looking for that nose to the inside. He's going to exit 2, come out really strong. And into 3 and 4, gets the nose to the inside, and he will have it here out of 4. Josh Jones has fought his way back through the field and retaken the lead on lap 165.
And Hartwell's doing a great job here on that outside line. Jones is going to clear him right there, but Hartwell didn't make it easy on the motor tires too. So, and is back here too. Look at this lead. Oh man, the 32. He's going to dive to the inside here of the 18 and a little contact. As you can say, kissy kiss.
Yeah, Lane Doyle racing along with Longolas. Hayward's in front of them. Leffler's falling behind going, what the heck are you guys doing? Right to the back side there was Longolas. He pulls door to door with Hayward. They will race across the start-finish line. Longolas moves into third position, and then he's spun by Hayward.
Yep.
No caution. What a
That's
save
caution.
by Longolas. He keeps you going. Oh, they did get a caution.
Yeah.
Man, but what a save by Longolas.
Yeah. He did a good job to get the thing back straight, and really didn't lose any positions either. I mean, let's see where it lines him back up, as I believe he'll be ahead of Steven, ahead of both Steven, sorry. And I believe he'll only be losing 2 spots really there. As the 9 gave him a little kissy kiss, as Lee would say. This is the kissy kiss track, Lee. If there's a track for kissy kiss, this is the one.
Yeah, 'cause he barely just got to that left rear bumper
You go see these other
John
guys pit.
Longolas. And around he went.
Well, this is
Now
where
we got people pitting. We got people not pitting. We got strategies being played.
That's for sure. There's strategies all over the wall because a lot of guys staying out here, so that's going to put Hartwell and Hunter pretty far back actually here. So that's the thing with these tire limits, you know, strategy and who pits when and who pits, you know, at certain times comes into effect a lot more. So these guys are going to lose a lot of track position. They'll have the fresher rubber, but personally, how many cars stayed out, guys? It might be kind of hard to get back through here pretty quickly without, you know, Josh Jones starting to check out if it can stay green.
Yeah, and Steven Leffler stayed out. His last pit stop was lap 76, so he's
2
almost
more sets.
100 laps on these.
Which, you know, a fuel stint here is about 125 laps. The tires, you can make it that far with tires, but it's right on the edge of tires. Like, you got to manage to get there. You know, you're not going to just go run 125 qualifying laps and expect to run that far. So, you know, with these cautions, he's been able to keep the tires nice and cool and fresh, and just have these short little bursts on these green flag runs, and done a good job. I mean, he'll have most likely the most sets here left, which should be 2. So everybody else should be down to 1 now if he's the farthest out pits.
Lap 171 of 225. Josh Jones will be in the lead. Lane Doyle in second. Leffler in third. Longolas fourth. Todd Neese fifth. David Neese will be in 6th position. Yarrow in 7th. Colley back up to 8th. Look at this. Fernando Gamboa in 9th position and Braden Caress in 10th.
Yeah, that's amazing for Fernando there to be up to 9th. He's done a good job of staying in this race and not, you know, waste that fast fix at a bad time, you know.
But
He
I
got caught in
still,
a few instances.
I still long for Rodrigo Loga. My heart yearns for Rodrigo Loga.
Rodrigo! Yeah, he couldn't make the flight to Martinsville, unfortunately.
I wonder how many people can fit in the stands here.
Oh, man, that's a good question, Lee. Actually, I will find that out for us. How about that?
Oh,
Because
right. I
it's
know
a
it's,
good bit.
yeah, I know it's not as much as Bristol, but I was just
65,000, depending on the configuration. 44,000, I'm pretty sure if the back straightaway's covered over, it is.
Gotcha. That's a good little number.
Green,
Nobody's
green,
social
green.
distancing. Here we go. Green flag. Josh Jones races to the line. Lap 173. Playing Doyle on the high side. And then you've got Leffler and Longolas. Remember, Leffler has not pitted for almost 100 laps. As we go into 3 and 4. He's looking to the inside of Lane Doyle. How to check up there. Now Todd Neese will go to the inside of Longolas. Will take over 4th position.
That's right. And the first car on new tires there is the 9 of Hunter Hayward. He's up only started there in 10th. So see his progress with the newer tires.
Gamboa to the inside of Brandon Colley, and Hayward right to the backside of Gamboa. Yeah, we got a caution.
It's like up in 4. Yeah, Brian Wasserman here in the 67.
Wasserman involved in that incident. Let's see what happened here.
Oh, man.
Looks like it's going to be into 3. Looks like Buzz got close, but I'm not sure if it wasn't much contact.
Yeah, it was netcode, so unfortunately, which there may have been, without the netcode there, it looks like they still might have hit. But definitely initial contact was netcode there. So unfortunate for Brian Washington there at 67. Just kind of looped around, but no damage, no too bad damage there. Just a little bit damage to the left rear quarter panel, which that has really no effect. So.
Somebody's cat stepped on their mouse as a large amount of emoticons go flying across your screen on Facebook.
It's not good to step on your mouse. That might break you.
Oh, there goes the 6. Lucky Dog flying on by. The 6 of Cheswick. Cheswick been involved in a few incidents here this evening. And right now, looks like he is riding into the 21st position. That means about 21 on the lead lap.
It'll be interesting to see here because it looks like all these guys got about 1 set to go except for Stephen Leffler there. But it's getting down to really a point where after really 20 to go, I ain't pitting for nothing unless everybody's got tires. Because the thing is, if you save a set of tires and nobody else has tires, they're not pitting. So you're going to be starting. We got 19 cars on the lead lap. You could possibly be starting 19th if you were the only guy with tires, and you think saving those tires, could be a last-ditch effort. I mean, coming from 19th with new tires, it's not very likely. You need to be, if you're on new tires here at a late race restart, you want to be in the top 5 to 6th, 7th position there. Really no farther than that, because it's just it's tough to get around cars here, even if you have new tires.
Track temperature of 91 degrees here right now at Martinsville.
Wow.
Air temperature of 65. Relative humidity 54% under a partly cloudy sky. Slight 4-mile-an-hour wind blowing from turn 4 to turn 1 across the infield. As we come around 1 and 2, it'll be 1 to go to green this time around, I think.
Yeah, next time it will be 1 to go, and we'll get back racing green. But that's a good point there, Lee, bringing up the track temp. It was 104 to start this race, so get a bit of temperature out of this thing. That's going to bring the speed and the grip up a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe the fastest lap turned here in these next 40.
Yeah, fastest lap still Jones on that second lap, 19.863. Let's see if we get a faster lap turned here in the last, 47 or so laps, 46 laps here at Martinsville. Yes, I know how to read the lap counter on iRacing.
You can, Lee.
I could do it. I could do it like the Muppets taught me that. Thank you, Sesame Street. Here we go. Pace car comes off. Gonna be lap 181 when we come across the line. Jones back up in the lead and has been the man here this evening. Lane Doyle in second will start on the high side. We dive into 1 and 2. They will be door to door, but look at Jones trying to power out. Nice job there by Doyle. He's going to at least stay competitive and try to slide down in front of Leffler, and does. Oh, Hartwell behind him.
Yep, Hartwell, man. Oh, unfortunate. Looks like he got by what's his name?
Yeah, what's his name? Just spun him around unceremoniously. And then the 33 of Gomez running that Weather Company's Ford Mustang just could not stay out of the big bowl of Kellogg's. That'll put us back under caution on lap 182.
Yeah, Best Buy tried to put Kellogg's on the shelf, and it didn't end up well.
So we got a poll up on Facebook. Who will win this race? Sorry, I was listening to some radio chatter. Who will win this race? Will it be the number 76 of Josh Jones? Will it be number 32 of Lane Doyle? We also got the number 72 of Stephen Leffler up there, and also the number 1 of Todd Neese. That is your 4 options as provided by our producer. So go on in there and vote now. Who do you believe will win this race? So go ahead and vote there on the poll. Hopefully we will see the results as we are testing new technologies in our partnership with Elon Musk.
Yeah, no. We wrote a static fire on this poll test here.
Oh, me, lap 84. So, yeah, it's Sunday. It means we got to go back. I got to go back to work tomorrow. Not looking forward to that.
Oh, man.
I enjoy my job, but it's just
tiring.
Yeah, I'd like to sleep a little longer. And my wife is, she hadn't been able to take any time off this year yet, so she's having a staycation next week. So she's gonna be home all week, and I have to get out of bed, and she's gonna still be sleeping, and I have to think whether or not I want to put a pillow over her face before I leave or not.
That is, you would not leave.
Never.
Not to our significant other, ever, no. Never. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Full moon, you know. It's just.
Might as well sign up anyway, someone.
I forgot this stuff is recorded, so if anything ever happens to my wife, man, I'm
You're
SOL
done for.
right now.
You're done for. He's been called Robert. Got to read that video. Why?
It's just odd that our viewership would drop as soon as I talked about getting rid of my wife.
Oh, God. We're joking.
Those people that know me, well, yeah, they haven't watched enough broadcast. No, lots of strange things. As we get ready to go back green, to be lap 187, 225. Josh Jones will bring him to the line. Lane Doyle to the high side in second position. Green flag, bringing him to the start-finish line and into one. Josh Jones down low. Lane Doyle up high. Oh, then got a caution as the 9 spins it.
Man.
That's going to be Hayward.
Yeah. One of the players for this win.
Hunter Hayward tried to dive it down inside of Colley. Did not see Gamboa down there.
Number 9.
The 9 of Hunter Hayward.
Yeah, just looked like Lee. He just, like I said, didn't know Gamboa was there. Went for the hole that he thought would be there, and right around she goes.
Yep, and yeah, there's starting to be some warnings given on the radio about aggressive driving. As we've talked about, cautions breed cautions. And now lap 188 of 225, we got 37 to go. You're starting to see where these guys are pushing a little bit more and trying to fit in spaces that they wouldn't have tried 50 laps ago.
Definitely seen that here, Lee. Is like I said, they give all turns to take with about 50 to go here at Martinsville, and we're seeing a lot of take, not a lot of give.
I felt so bad for the viewership dropping off. I gave myself a care to make myself feel better there on Facebook.
Well, at least you care, Lee.
I care.
But you're not a Care Bear.
No, I'm not a daggone Care Bear. I did watch Ted last night. That was I've watched it before. We actually own it.
Keanu Reeves? Ted?
No, Ted. Seth MacFarlane, the teddy bear that comes alive.
Oh
What the heck are you talking about, Keanu Reeves?
You never seen the movie?
What do you think I'm talking about,
Bill
John
and
Wick?
Ted. It's Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted. It's
Oh
one of
my
Keanu Reeves'
God.
oldest movies. It's really funny.
No,
I don't
you
know
forget,
why I
I'm
thought of
older
that.
than you are. I remember when that came out. You probably weren't even alive
Was he
yet.
Bill? I don't even know. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know. I just, some reason, I didn't even think about the bear. Man, yeah.
Bill S.
That's a good one,
Preston
too.
Esquire and Ted Theodore Logan.
Thunder Buddies.
It's the I almost sung the song. Somebody blew their engine. I don't know if y'all heard that or not.
They just lost the piston into low Earth orbit.
Yeah, so Darnell, I believe, might have been him.
I think he's all right, maybe not.
I heard a Powell. No, I think it's the 9, Hayward.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was Hayward. It expired right as he crossed the start-finish line. And yeah, there's probably a piston somewhere in the back, around on the other side of the grandstand. Yeah.
He is cruising at a smooth 22 miles an hour trying to make it to his pit stall.
Yeah, and luckily it's a little bit downhill here, but the issue is we're about to go green.
About to go green as the pace car comes in. Jones will lead him to the line. Blaine Doyle trying to time that start. Gets a little loose there. As David Neese is behind him, we dive it into 1 and out of 2. It's Jones, Blaine, and Langolas. 1, 2, 3. Michael Yarrow up to 4th position now. Passing David Neese. Get both to the back of Colley, and it collects the entire back half of the field.
Man, oh man. Oh, looks like Fernando just caught the curb. Man, way too hot for 23 in there.
Yeah, Gamboa hit the back of Colley, who took out Perez. Todd Neese barely got out of that. Buzz got hit in the back end by the 6 car of Cheswick, who for some unknown reason decided he could go ahead and go anyways. Yeah, had lots of stuff going on during that one.
24 stuck on the curb.
Man, these guys.
Got over it.
Bill Cook's still in the house with us. Thank you, Mr. Cook. It's an enjoyable Sunday evening here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, even though there's no alcoholic beverages being served at the moment.
These guys might need one after this. You guys are going to try to forget about this one, I think. Josh Jones ain't, though.
Good thing Alex Bisson isn't driving in this race.
Oh, good old Alex.
I love
Brian
Alex
Johnson.
Bisson.
Oh, yeah.
Under caution here, lap 195 of 225. Josh Jones has been pure dominant here this evening. Blaine Doyle in 2nd, Langolas 3rd. Orlando Riviera now in 4th position. That's a scary situation with Stephen Leffler in 5th.
Yeah, I gotta tell you what, man. There's a lot of people up here that didn't like, if you would have said at the start of the race to them, hey, man, you're going to be in the top 5 with almost 25 to go, they would be like, you're crazy. And I tell you what, that's the thing about Martinsville. It's such an attrition race. You can't ever give up because people are going to have issues like we see, and that's going to give you free spots. And free spots are your best friend.
And with how long these caution laps tend to run, we're at 29 to go now. If we get another 1 or 2 cautions, we're only going to run about 10 to 15 green flag laps till the end of this race.
Yeah, that's the thing too, Lee. I think so. Some guys definitely pitted there, like Michael Yarrow gave up his top 5 position there to come down the pit road, and he'll come out 9th. And I think that was a decent call here with about coming up here about 25 to go. So I wouldn't pit after this though. I've always had a rule of thumb here at Martinsville. It's just better to keep the track position. You see what happens when you get stuck back there, man. You see Brandon Hartwell, and ever since the Hunter and Brandon pitted, I mean, Brandon has got back to 8th and luckily rebounded, but you see Hunter's on pit road, and stuff like that easily happens. We got.
Are y'all hearing the radio?
Yeah.
Like music?
There's music. I don't think the people at home hear this, but Robert has turned into a radio. What's the Backstreet Boys playing?
Is this on the broadcast or just in our
What's
headset?
going on?
Because people, if it's just in our headset, people are going to be like, they've lost their daggum minds. We go back to green flag, and Josh Jones wants it that way. Into 1 and 2. Gonna take the bottom line. Lane Doyle getting past my Longolas as we go into 3. Leffler now looks to the inside of Doyle. Here comes Todd Neese underneath Orlando Riviera. Backstreet's back going into 1 and 2. Leffler's going to pass Doyle. Now Neese is going to look to the inside. We settle it down on lap 200.
I gotta breathe.
And I still don't know if the viewing audience can hear the 80s music playing in our headphones.
We're all crazy. We're just crazy. Don't worry.
Jones brings it into 3. They're like, what are all these random references to Backstreet Boys? Here comes Longolas. Leffler in 3rd position. All right, Zach, watch Leffler now. He's going to duck to the inside. We got a caution.
Yeah, he was like you said. He was just about to make that pass, but we got a caution. So unfortunately, he's not going to get it there. 33 of yeah, Gomez there in the 33. A little bit of echo too. I think that was Fernando.
That's David Neese, 27.
Oh, David Neese. Sorry. I thought did he have a 23 on his car? That's 27. I'm seeing things.
Yeah, I mean, we can blame Fernando for a lot tonight, but not that one.
I was seeing things. That was my mistake. Sorry. But
Yeah,
man,
Bill
oh, man.
Cook. Yeah, Bill and Kayla saying they couldn't hear the Backstreet Boys. So we're sitting there talking away, and all of a sudden we hear, I want it that way. Tell me why. And we're like, all right, so we're just going to sing along. We did not know y'all couldn't hear. So no, we did not lose our minds. And it wasn't a case of alternate realities or a scene from the movie Split. It was Robert playing a joke on us and serenade us in our head.
That's a cruel joke.
Really
Made
is.
us sound crazy. I literally, I was flabbergasted right there. I can't breathe. I might need to see a doctor after this race.
All right, so the number 6 of Cheswick has had about 18 lucky dogs.
Right?
I'm trying to figure out if he's back on the lead lap yet or not.
He is now. He is, yeah.
Good guy. If he comes back and wins this thing.
That would be amazing. But I tell you what, Stephen Leffler, he is in a pretty good position here for this because
which position is that?
Was. 3rd, the bottom lane, the key here. And also you got Steven Stippian who worked his way back to 7th. Also Brandon there in 8th, Michael Yara in 9th. Those guys, I believe, have fresher tires. We got to look back here.
Yeah, Stippian on 194.
Michael Yara does, yes.
Yeah, Stimp's on 194, Yara 194, Caress, David Neese, Dave Bush, Collie, Jason T. Adams, Buzz, all those guys from, 7th on back, except for Hartwell, who's on 182. Josh Jones, lap 139 was when he took tires.
Yeah, and that was right after that caution where he got involved with the lap car. So, really, personally for him, with all the cautions, he haven't really had much green flag continuous laps. The rest of the race, Josh Jones needs to stay where he's at and just hold on to what he's got and just weather the storm. And really, if you even look down here in the 1 and 2 lead, look at all the marbles. You can see them there in the grass, but you really can't see them too much in the upper groove. But if you get up out that groove, when all this push turns to shove, you get all the marbles right on your tires, and it's like standing on marbles. No grip.
Absolutely. As the pace car will come off, it will be 18 to go when we cross the line. Josh Jones will lead them out of 4. Langolis up 11 positions will be in second now, and green flag. Here we go at Martinsville. Jones will lead him down into 1. Lane and Leffler going to race for third back behind him. Now Leffler looking to put his nose on the inside of Langolis. Lane almost touches the wall. Todd Nice goes to the inside of Lane. Stipien going to go to the inside of Riviera. Leffler takes second from Langolis. We come out of 4. Now Todd Nice underneath Lane will overtake 4th position. Steps got his nose on the inside of Lane going into 1 and 2. Stipien and Lane's going to battle for 5th position. Behind them, looks like somebody Anderson and Riviera who taps that wall. We go into 3. Stipien's going to be door to door with Lane. 5th position being battled for. Orlando Riviera hits the brakes. Hartwell's going to run into the back of him. We keep it green. Into 1's going to be Jones with the lead. Leffler in 2nd position. Langolis now in 3rd. Todd Nice 4th. Stipien in 5th. Lane stuck on that high groove now with Michael Yarrow puts his nose to the inside. Yarrow to the inside of Lane is going to take over 6th position. Because we're on lap 211 of 225. Now Caress on the inside of Lane. Lane Doyle falling backwards, Zach.
Yeah, them older tires there. Trying to hold on to that position, but it's tough. And I can tell you what, Steven Stipien and Michael Yarr aren't out of this yet. They're in 5th and 6th right now. They need to make quick work of Todd Nice, Josh Langolis, and tell you what, Steven's not giving up though. He is Leffler there in the 72. He is really putting pressure on Josh Jones not to make a mistake.
Yeah, Jones on much older tires. As you can see on the inside of 3 and 4, especially, man, so much rubber being laid down. And even into 1 and 2. And that rubber going to the low side of the track, that high side, clean until you get in that top groove. And then it's going to get real slippery. Jones will continue to lead with a 4/10 of a second lead over Leffler. Langolis in 3rd, Todd Nice in 4th. And Stemp's going to be in 5th right behind Nice and starting to look for some opportunities here. And that's where we're going to start seeing pass. Oh, caution. The 24 is involved. That's Jason T. Adams right here at the start-finish line. Darnell is involved. The 33 is involved.
Man, that was coming to 11 to go there. And, man, 11 laps will click off here in a blink of an eye. And now we got a caution. But, oh, man, the 24. Ow.
Yeah, the 24 and the 33 get into each other and then take out the 44 as well.
Yeah, just 24 just snapped loose there. Like, wow, that was really, really big snap there for the 24.
Could that be a tire cutting down?
Oh, that was so like aggressively snapped that it just looked he just got wide. Really, what happened there is he got really wide on the exit, and when you get wide, you're putting a lot of wheel in it, which means you're getting wide because you're tight. So you're putting a lot of wheel in it, and then when it got on the straightaway, it didn't like that wheel as he's applying that gas pedal, and that thing just darted left. So yeah, just a slight mistake there. 24.
Sorry, Cheswick's coming around again. Here he comes. Hi, Cheswick.
And he should right here be on the lead lap. I think what's been happening is he's been pitting.
Yep.
Or he pitted last time, and because like I said, you got to be in the pit road so quick. You see the pace car's only right behind him, and it takes so long to get down these pit roads that you go right back a lap down. So I would hope he's already took his tires and stuff, and he doesn't have to pit yet, so he should be good to go on the lead lap.
Yeah, Yarrow's trying to clean off that top groove. Look at him.
Yeah, that's interesting too. He's just picking up a bunch of marbles on his tires too, which it's not exactly realistic. I mean, if you did that in real life, you'd be a goner going into the turn. You would have nothing. I mean, the marbles do affect you. Definitely slick up there, but I don't know if that's the best decision to be riding up there putting that stuff on your tires.
That's interesting. Let's see how that one plays out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's got fresher tires, so that's always going to help here. And so does Steven Stippian. So I want to see what those two do here. Steven's going to start there on the bottom in 5th. That's going to help him. Hopefully, he's going to want to come out of there in 3rd, hopefully, and have a chance. Yeah, and like you said, Lee, like clean off the top line. That line's not going to do anything up there. If you go up there, you're in no man's land, and you're going to get passed by 4 or 5 cars. It's really slow up there. And also, the concrete has a lot more grip than the asphalt. I really have no clue what his plan is with that, but maybe he just wants to ride around the top. He just enjoys it up there.
It could be as simple as that. It's just I'm driving up here because it's what I want to do.
And like I said, the marbles will affect it, but it's not going to be like he's going to go into the corner and wreck. But we'll see here how it plays out for him. He's going to restart on that 3rd row on the outside, so he needs to get a good launch off of 2 to be able to get down to the bottom.
So we will go green this time around as the pace car comes off Josh Jones and Steven Leffler. These two have battled all evening, and we're going to come to 6 to go when we go green.
Green flag, green flag.
With Sim Racing Unleashed to the line. There goes Jones. Leffler and Langolis is going to try to put his nose to the inside. Look at Leffler powering on the high side as we come out of 2.
Tried to get the run through the middle and roll the middle around the top. That's hard to do. And the 18 says, I'm here. Open the door.
There's a spin. David Neese.
Oh, man.
The 27 of David Neese did spin there. Let's see what happened. Did Collie get into it? Or go into 3. Yeah, Collie got that back quarter panel. Just barely tapped him, spun him around, and that's going to bring us to a caution. And then, Zach, it'll take us to the most exciting 2 laps in motorsports, a green, white, checkered finish.
Definitely. And looking at that incident, really, that, it's at the point of the race where I think Colley's like, you know what, I got an inch of a nose there, so he's going to stick it there. David Neese is at the point of the race where he's saying, I'm going to close this door, you know what I'm saying, just to keep the bottom, and that's where you're going to see incidences like that. So unfortunate for David Neese, he's going to get the short end of the stick, but we'll see. Like you said, we're going to have us a green-white checker here most likely, unless it gets some weird timing with the caution, but we would definitely have, we should have green checker. So.
Yeah, poor Orlando Riviera ended up tapping David Neese during that incident as well. He has been he's been involved in a few different incidents through no fault of his own this evening as well. So as we talked about, Zach, we will be with a green-white checkered, so a 2-lap shootout to the finish. And will Josh Jones have enough with the almost 90-lap-old tires to hold off the charging Steven Leffler and Steven Stippian, who is now in 4th position? Josh Langolis in 3rd, pitted on lap 140, only 1 lap newer tires than Josh Jones. Leffler on 182. Then you got Todd Neese in 5th, Braden Caress, Michael Yarrow. You talked about him. He's in 7th position. Yarrow's not in a bad spot. It's going to be hard to challenge for the win, but he set himself up pretty decently here at the end, considering some of the incidents earlier in the race. Brandon Hartwell in 8th spot. He ran up towards the front all race long, and now back at 8th. Lane Doyle in 9th, and Collie will round out your top 10.
Yeah, if you remember last restart, Steven Leffler there tried to really use that outside in that 72 to try to roll the top and just keep his nose on the outside of the 76. And Josh Jones, really, if he can get that right, yes, we will have our first official green white checker, and it's popping up now, and one and only too. But as you can see, he tried to roll the top, and if he can get that right with them fresher tires, you just can't overdrive the middle. You got to go in there deep. You make sure you stay there, but you can't overdrive it because the runoff on that top is pretty powerful. And with them older tires, the Josh Jones on the bottom, it's going to make it tough for him to, if he's got a car side by side. and
It,
pace truck or pace car
it
will pull off.
appears we're on caution number 20 of this evening. Yeah, caution number 20, 100 laps under caution of the
Green,
227. Here we go, green flag. Josh Jones brings him to the line. Leffler to the high side. Then you got Stympian and Longolis. Stympian looking pretty strong there.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh, we got a caution.
Race over.
And that'll do it. Jason T. Adams in the 24. Adams comes across the start-finish line. David Neese gets into the back of the 33, who gets into the back of the 24. And that, my friends, will do it for this evening. We will watch them come travel across the line to take the checker. Josh Jones ran an excellent race this evening. Stephen Leffler, Josh Longolis up 10 spots in third position.
Yeah, what a race for Josh Longolis. It's the Josh race tonight. As Josh Jones was perfection, other than that little incident with the lap car, that dude was perfect all night, and what a way to win it there.
Yep, so we are going to bring it across the start-finish line to end this race. Josh Jones in first. Stephen Leffler will finish second. And then Josh Longolis in third, Stympian fourth, Todd Neese fifth, Caress sixth, Yarrow seventh, Hartwell eighth, Lane ninth, and Brandon Tolley will round out your top 10. When we come back, we'll have Josh Jones, Stephen Leffler, and Josh Longolis up in the booth with us here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. This has been round 3 of season 8 at Martinsville with Sim Racing Unleashed. We'll be back in just a moment. And we are back here at Martinsville with Sim Racing Unleashed on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We have our top 3 finishers waiting in the wings. And then the virtual green room, we're going to bring up Josh Longolis first to speak with Zach about tonight's race here at Martinsville.
Hey, Josh, it's Zach in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Hey, man, I can hear you good.
Oh, 10-4, Josh. Well, man, you are one of our biggest movers, actually, of the race there, starting in that 13th position here tonight at Martinsville Speedway. And you brought her home in third, man. How did you navigate that number 18 there?
Oh, well, that race was absolutely fantastic, man. I haven't raced in iRacing in about 2 months, so that was my first race back. And here at a crazy place like Martinsville, whoo, I'm glad to bring home third place. I had my butt kicker shaking my butt the whole time, and I got rejected by a girl today, asked her out on a date, so this is in her face. So... So, man, I'm absolutely happy that I came home third. So, into that girl's face, and hopefully she watches it.
That is awesome, man. I'm awesome race for you, man, to bring it home third. And
All right.
so 2 months here, off of iRacing. How big a shakeup is going to Martinsville, one of the toughest racetracks on the schedule?
Oh yeah, I love this racetrack. I've raced Martinsville a lot, and also with the ButtKicker too. So that was my first race with ButtKicker, or league race with ButtKicker. So it was kind of tricky, and man, I'm just happy to bring it home, third place. And gotta thank my sponsors, Sly Job Sales and Printable Touch. Appreciate those guys joining me on board on this 18 machine. So thanks,
Awesome,
everybody.
Awesome. Well,
Thanks,
Josh, before we let you go, if anybody else wants to say a shout out to, but
I already shouted out my sponsor.
Yep. Cool. Awesome,
Yeah.
Josh. Well, you have a great night, man, and celebrate that third place finish, and hopefully we'll catch you next time.
All right, thank you.
And that is your third place finisher, Mr. Josh Lagolis. And take that, woman, as we bring up our second place finisher this evening, Mr. Stephen Leffler.
Hey, Steven, it's Zach.
How's it going?
Man, you got a copy?
Yeah, not too bad. How's it going?
Going pretty good, man. Well, you are able to bring her home in second where you started tonight. How was the racing over there for you, man, in 72?
I'm glad this one's over, man. It's the last 2 weeks. I'm not sure what's going on, but it hasn't been pretty. I mean, just too many cautions after cautions, and we're gonna have to go through the league and make some changes or something, because it seems like each week it's getting worse and worse. But for the most part, the car ran good tonight. I needed some green flag laps to get around Jones. I just couldn't get on the restart. He was amazing on the restarts the entire night. So it just sucks I couldn't get any green flag laps to try and make a pass on him.
Yeah, that's definitely what I was going to bring up to you there. Is you definitely had some fresher tires there to Jones. So was, coming there to the green white checker, was the plan, were you going to try to roll the top, or were you going to try to maybe cross him over there?
Yeah, he was so strong on the bottom on the restarts that my plan was to do a crossover coming off of 2 and then try and get it on the inside going into 3, or maybe wait until the white flag lap to do that coming off of 2. But he was so strong on the bottom. I don't know if I would have been able to get it around on the top. I mean, I did have the fresher tires. I mean, I felt pretty good on the top, but just Jones was awesome on the restarts, and it was going to be tough to get around him.
Definitely. Jones looked fantastic all night on the restarts. As a little bit of a rust race tonight, but Martinsville, man, it's a tough race to race around with 20 or multiple cars. So sometimes that's how Martinsville plays out, unfortunately, with cautions and calamity. But before we let you go, man, for your second place finish, anybody want to send a shout out to Steven?
Yeah, all the guys at SRU for putting the races on each week. You guys for putting up the broadcast for us. And then the 22Q Family Foundation for letting me run their colors. And all my family for letting me do this every week.
Awesome, Steven. Well, buddy, congratulations on your second place finish, and hopefully we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. Thank you.
Again, that is your second place finisher, Mr. Stephen Leffler here at Martinsville, as we bring up your race winner, Mr. Josh Jones.
Hey, Josh and Zach in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I copy.
Hey, man. Well, what a dominant race for the number 76 tonight, man. Starting on the pole and really just putting on a clinic there with all these restarts tonight, and really being amazing on the restarts. So how was the 76 tonight, man?
Well, it was really good. I really wish we could have done a lot more racing, but it is what it is. Yeah, I had a pretty good race. I was able to get good restarts, and I was able to stay out most of the trouble. There's a little bit of issue there at the beginning. I think most of it was my fault. But we survived. That was the main thing, first half of the race, trying to survive. We was able to get back up there.
Yeah, you definitely did an amazing job to bounce back from that incident there in the race. And, man, what a way to come back through and hold on to the lead with the older tires. Were you at all worried a little bit with being on a little bit older tires than the guys behind you?
Yep, I sure was. I did some practice and stuff this week, and practice with the guys, and I kind of knew about what was going on, and I was like, man, this is going to be bad. But luckily, I don't know if I was saving them right, or was able to keep that right rear cool, or what. I could get off that corner enough to stay in front of Leffler there. I knew he had fresh ones.
Yeah, definitely did an awesome job all night, man. Getting clear off of 2 there to make sure to hold on to your position. And gotta say, it was a dominating performance, and they definitely knew Josh Jones was here tonight. Before I let you go, though, anybody wants to shout to me?
Well, of course, the SRU, the admins for putting it on, all the guys that come out to race. We need to practice a little bit more, but we'll get it. And then American Hero Hunt and Steven's Button Box.
Awesome, Josh. Well, congrats on your win here, man, at Martinsville. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And that is Mr. Josh Jones, your race winner here this evening, as we get set to talk about our finishing order here at Martinsville with the Sim Racing Unleashed guys.
1 second.
As Josh Jones, as we said, coming away with the victory. Leffler in third. It'll be Leffler in second, Langolis in third, Stempien in fourth, Todd Neese fifth, Braden Caress sixth, Michael Yarrow seventh, Brandon Hartwell in eighth, Lane Doyle in ninth, Brandon Colley in 10th, Dave Bush 11th, Orlando Riviera 12th, Paul Cohen 13th, Michael Keschik in 14th, David Neese 15th, Robert Cheswick in 16th, Jason T. Adams 17th, Brian Wasserman in 18th, Robbie Darnell 19th, Fernando Gamboa in 20th, Hunter Hayward fell all the way back to 21st, Kerry Chim in 22nd, James Small 23rd, Jason Anderson 24th, Glenn Ballard 25th, Bradley Duff 26th, and Dakota Ramser in 27th position. And that will round it up this evening here at Martinsville. Zach, final thoughts, sir?
Well, man, like a lot of guys said, unfortunate that we didn't get a lot of green flag laps here tonight. But personally, it's to be expected at Martinsville. It is a tough place to get around. Some of the instances were caused to net code, this place, literally, I mean, just going there from personally in real life, you're amazed by how close the cars race side by side through the corners. And these guys are right on top of each other all the time. So anytime you have that with, online racing, it's going to be, races that have a lot of caution. So I don't want the guys to get too down on themselves, because coming from, doing a lot of admin stuff and like that, it's very easy to happen. And I'm sure these guys will figure it out and they'll bounce back from this. So usually your best races come from right after your worst races. So, congrats again to Josh Jones, though. That was a dominating performance, man. He put on a show and a clinic here tonight. And I was just glad to be up to boot, man. I ain't called some Cup Series action in a long time and got the blood flowing, got to laugh with you guys. You guys are hilarious, and I just appreciate everything you guys let us do up here.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate Mr. Robert Boyer, our producer, our man behind the curtain. He is our Oz, and thank him for everything that he does for Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Robert, another great night here with Sim Racing Unleashed at Martinsville as we get ready to pack it up. And I know that you're ready for tomorrow night, some ARCA action.
That's right. As we get ready to head with the Outlaws tomorrow night, 7:50. Then we will be live with them again on Tuesday night, 7:50. And then I'll make the announcement now. We'll be live with them again on Wednesday night at 7:50. So 3 nights in a row with the Outlaw Racing League, NASCAR Outlaw. So make sure you tune in if you're not out there racing with them guys. But Lee and Zach, before I sign off, these guys do one well of a job. And we had one well of a weekend here at Freaky Fast. We had the Indy 250 with Zach Hall on the last lap, taking it for the pass to win some cash. So that was awesome, Zach, and then you got the milks. Drink some milk and then dump the milk on you with your finger up and your dad taking the picture, and then it's posted on the Freaky Fast Facebook page, so make sure you go over there and give that a like and a comment if you don't mind. And Lee, calling the Indy race with Wesley Outland, you guys did one well of a job, and it was a great weekend here for Freaky Fast. But we're going to sign off here tonight and get ready to pack up our stuff tomorrow and head on to, I forget where we're at, and I do apologize, but I know it'll be 3 nights in a row at the same track with them, ARCA trucks and Cup cars. So until then, we'll catch everybody tomorrow night at 7:50 Eastern. God bless everybody. Love yous all. Peace out.
Later, everybody.